Hello, and welcome to our session about doing Arts Award Bronze in your SEND settings. My name is Saffron van Zwanenberg. I'm the Artistic Director of Jackdaws Music Education Trust. This is my colleague Joshua Bishop, our
Hello.
Projects and Digital Officer, and we are both trained Arts Award advisors. Jackdaws is a charity founded to improve access to high-quality music education across the region. Last year, we delivered over 3,000 musical interactions with young people across the Southwest through our award-winning projects, The Year of, Opera Plus and Song Story. We are based in Great Elm, about 10 miles south of Bath, on the banks of the Mells Water. In the academic year 2019, Jackdaws was awarded Arts Award Champion Centre status by Trinity College. They are the examining board for Arts Award. Also here is Jane Haynes. Hello. Post-16 lead for Critchill SEND School in Frome. Jane has a tremendous amount of experience and has been a tireless advocate for music in her setting. She has worked with us on a number of projects through the years and picked up on what a great opportunity Arts Award could be for her students when we offered to help facilitate her post-16s achieving bronze, an Ofqual registered level 1 qualification. She's going to tell us a bit about her experience. But first, Josh is going to tell us a bit about the awards themselves. So Josh, what is Arts Award?
So Arts Award is a series of 5 qualifications with a flexible framework designed to support and encourage young people up to the age of 25 in their personal growth as artists. It aims to inspire them to experience new art forms and engage with the wider arts world. At bronze level, students are encouraged to go to an arts event, research an artist, either living or historical, as well as share their skills with somebody else, and of course, take part in an artistic activity. None of these activities are specifically defined. So, for example, going to an arts event could be going to an arts gallery, could be going to a show, a pantomime, or anything else. And because of this flexibility, most of these activities are completed as part of a balanced arts curriculum at school anyway. So this activity is then recorded in their portfolio and is moderated by us as your advisors, and then a sample is submitted for moderation with Trinity College. That's just to check that our moderation has been correct.
So why should you do Arts Award Bronze? Well, we think it's a great opportunity for students to gain a formal qualification in the arts. The main thing which makes Arts Award accessible is that it focuses on each student's own progression. It is not the overall quality or the absolute level attained by the student which is important, but the improvement and journey through experiencing the arts made by each individual. Each student creates a simple portfolio of evidence showing their development in their skills and a degree of self-reflection in 4 categories. This evidence can be collected in a number of different ways, which we will go on to discuss with Jane in a moment. The Arts Award assessment and moderation criteria is exactly the same for every student and works well for all, as it is very inclusive. For comparison, well, Josh, why don't you tell us about the comparative qualifications?
So the NCFE Certificate in Performance Skills is a guideline of 110 guided learning hours. Similarly, the Census Creative Industry Skills is also 110 guided learning hours. Arts Award Bronze is just 40 hours.
Okay. So this training session is focusing specifically on Bronze Level Arts Award, but if you think that might be too much for your students at the moment and would like to trial a less intensive level, there are routes in with Discover and Explore, which we could also help you facilitate. Last year, 55 SEND students from 5 schools all achieved their Discover accreditation by taking part in our Song Story project, for example. Following completion of Bronze, there is also the opportunity for progression on Silver, which we are hoping to pilot with SEND pupils soon. So there are 4 sections of the Arts Award which need to be completed and evidence. Section A, explore the arts as a participant. Section B, explore the arts as an audience member. Section C, an arts inspiration. And Section D, share their skills. Let's have a look at these in more detail, and I'll ask Jane to tell us a little bit about each section and what she did with her group of students. So Section A, explore the arts as a participant. This is a practical element. Young people should show that they have developed their knowledge and skills in a creative arts activity through active participation over time. The activity could be something like taking part in a choir or another arts project and contributing to the creative process. Evidence could be photos or videos of them participating, maybe a written or audio diary of sessions over a period of time. It should show what they have learned and how they have developed, told in their own way. Jane, would you be able to give us some examples of what your students did?
Yes, so we had a post-16 choir, which we ran all of last year during curriculum time. So that was one of our sessions that was timetabled each week. We evidenced that by taking photos and videos of the sessions. We also recorded any performances or things we took part in. We did a log of a couple of the songs when we started the song, and then the next week when we built on that, we asked the children to record what they've done and what they've learned and maybe what they wanted to improve ready for next time. So we kind of show progress over time with that as well.
Lovely, thank you. Okay, section B, explore the arts as an audience member. The students should go to an arts event and reflect on the event afterwards, whether they enjoyed it, what they thought of the quality and things like that. They should then share their thoughts with others. The sharing could be a conversation with you during which you take notes about what they have said, or a written blog post or video of them talking about it. Evidence could be a ticket, poster, flyer, program from the event, photos of them there, that sort of thing. The event itself could be anything from a visit to an arts gallery, a concert or school assembly. So Jane, as your students in the audience, could you tell us perhaps a bit about that and maybe how Jackdaws projects help facilitate that?
Yes, so we signed up to do Year of the Flute with Jackdaws last year, which meant we had a flute trio come and visit us in school, and the whole school saw that as a concert. So that was one of the performances that we chose to evidence, and we asked the children to reflect on it. We asked them to think about what was their favourite part, what they thought might be better next time. Is there something that they had seen that they would like to do differently next time, or how it made them feel. So some of the songs brought out some quite emotional reactions to how it made them feel. So we got them to record that. Some of them did that with conversations, so staff wrote them down, some of those were able to record that themselves. We also used the concert at the Cheese and Grain, so an outside venue for the finale for that Year of the Flute, to give them a different experience having a concert in a different kind of venue as well.
Great. Section C, arts inspiration. Using simple research methods, which is not just about that artist's outputs and not maybe just their songs or something like that, to find out about the practice, career and work of an artist or practitioner who inspires them, summarise what they have learned. The key thing here is to share their findings, which can be drawn from many sources, watching interviews on YouTube, CD notes, Wikipedia, websites, biographies, programs, that sort of thing. The sharing again can take the form of an informal chat where you make notes on their behalf, a recorded discussion. Jane, how did your students share their inspiration?
So we chose to make PowerPoints. So most of our students chose a popular pop artist and wanted to do that. We chose to do PowerPoints because they're easy to share either with the whole group or just on a one-to-one level. It was quite challenging finding different sources of evidence other than the music they were listening to or maybe a Wikipedia page. So that was something that I think we need to really work on for this year, is finding different ways of evidencing their research.
Lovely. Josh, have you got anything to add to that about how the different routes that they could maybe take for that?
Yes, so I mean, we emphasise again that the inspiration can be an artist from any time, so from Mozart to Ariana Grande. And the important thing is to make sure that the students have learned something and then they
tell somebody else.
They share what they have learned. So it doesn't matter where they find the information, like we say, a YouTube interview or in the notes of the CD, learning about the history of that artist, their career, how they started.
I think you suggested making a timeline of different events, and that would be a really helpful way of doing it for our students, I think.
Absolutely.
And with the PowerPoints as well, I think, I don't know if you said, sorry, but they could present that just to one person rather than an entire group.
Absolutely. So some students who were very brave chose to share that with the whole class. Others that didn't feel able to do that were able just to print it off into a booklet and just share it with one other person. That could be a member staff or just here. Great.
Okay, so section D is the skills share. Pass on their skills and knowledge to others in a planned session and reflect on how that session went and what could be improved. There are 3 parts to this section: the planning, delivery and reflection. The skill that they share could be anything from teaching a song, leading a warm-up, something like that. Their plan should be set out as to what they will do and what they would need. Evidence of the delivery, again, could be a photo or a video, and reflection, the same, something written, a conversation, that kind of thing again. Jane, was this the most enjoyable part of the award for your students, do you think?
Yeah, we did this in two different ways. So each student learnt a bit of our warm-up that we did at every session. So every session, each person took the lead to deliver that piece of the warm-up. So we had practice presenting to each other. But then later on in the year, we learnt some very simple songs and then took those to the younger children that we have at school and delivered those and taught those. And we just evidenced that by taking videos and photos. And we had some really lovely sessions with the rest of some of the smaller classes, with our students teaching the songs. It was really, really lovely.
Do you think that's something you would have done if you hadn't been doing Arts Award?
Good question. Probably not, because I think we were very focused on what we wanted to sing and choices that the post-16 students had. And I think choosing very age-appropriate songs for them. So we obviously, thinking about our younger students, the reception and year 1, year 2 classes, yeah, we chose very, very different songs for them, but very accessible songs. So yeah, it did give us a very different opportunity.
Great, thank you very much. Could you also tell us a little bit about how much of your time was needed to support the students, and whether this was easy to incorporate into work you were doing anyway, perhaps as part of projects you were involved in already?
So most of it was done in curriculum time. So our post-16 choir was timetabled. So most times we were obviously singing and doing that, but we then incorporated in the written work as well. There was a little bit of additional work as we were putting the portfolios together, because we felt we needed to add in some teacher comments about some of the events that we've done, where the young person had found it quite difficult to reflect, but we knew what they had done and said on the day, and we wanted to record that to show that they'd really participated in what had happened. So we did add some extra comments and some next steps for them for learning for next time, which we would do anyway as part of our marketing. But that was just a little bit extra at the end, which I felt just gave the assessor a little bit more information about how that young person had been.
Yeah, okay. And I know with some of the students who used some sort of sign sheets and things like that, for them they could point to something that they liked or didn't like, and
yeah,
those kind of things.
Absolutely. So you don't have to be able to record anything with writing. So if they are able to show us how they were feeling or be able to make a choice about something, then you can do it.
Yeah, great, thank you. So just thinking about that collecting of evidence, the most important thing about the evidence is making sure the child's voice is heard. So if you are helping them to scribe, then it's useful to do that as part of a conversation and make a note that you only wrote down what was communicated to you, rather than what you saw them do to a degree. But this is also useful as long as it's clearly noted as an observation. Evidence, as Jane said, is acceptable in a wide range of formats, so do feel free to be very creative with that. Safeguarding is, of course, a very sensitive area, and I think how to approach that was the most crucial thing we learned through working with Jane. Much of her evidence was recorded as videos, photos and audio clips which are stored on the school system. And because of their security system, there was no way for her to share that information with the external moderator, other than by them being physically present with a school laptop to show the moderator some clips and photos. However, it is not necessary to share all the evidence with the external moderator. They only need to know that it is all there and has been accounted for, which we will be able to do during our moderation at your site, following your own institution's rules and procedures. The external moderator is there to check our work, and we have a log and comment on what we have seen and whether the criteria has been met, and then they check a sample of portfolios just to see if that matches up. Each student's physical portfolio, which would be checked by the external moderator, consists of writing, pictures, ticket stubs, whatever else you're happy to share, and videos and photos would stay on your system. Okay, Josh is just going to tell us a little bit about the deadlines involved and the costs and timelines.
Okay, so the important thing to note is that you can take as long as you want to compile and collect all the evidence that you need for your Arts Award. If you know that these students are going to be with you for 2 years, you can take a year and a half to do the Arts Award. The hard deadlines only come towards the end of the qualification. So at bronze level, each portfolio must be moderated twice. So we book the external moderation with Trinity College, and we must do that at least 8 weeks in advance. At that point, we need to provide Trinity with the names and dates of birth for each candidate being submitted, just as you would with any exam submission. After the moderation, Trinity advise allowing for a 6-week turnaround for the return of certificates. In practice, this means that if you have an end-of-year awards ceremony or presentation that you'll want those certificates for, then we take the date of that and we work backwards. Jane, for example, knew that you wanted your certificates for the post-16 presentation.
We do. We have a post-16 presentation evening where we give out all their certificates, so it was lovely to be able to do that and have that in time.
Yeah, so that was at the beginning of July,
Yes.
and so we booked the moderation for around Easter time, and in the end they arrived 2 weeks early. So ideally, Jackdaws, Saffron and I would like to see the portfolios 2 or 3 weeks before the date of that official Trinity moderation, so that we can do our part. So this can be either done by post or with a site visit, and that then gives you time to go back and add in any of our recommendations before portfolios go to the external moderators. If we're doing a postal moderation, so if you have 5 or fewer candidates, then we need to add in a few days to allow for post service as well.
And just to say, as part of what we do as advisors, if you are using video and audio clips, then we would need to come to wherever you are to see those if you weren't happy to share them over email or whatever. So that it may be a situation where we would have to find a way to come to you just to look at those so we could log those as evidence.
Absolutely. So that whole scenario is that we book the external moderation at least 8 weeks in advance. Then we do our moderation 2 or 3 weeks before that date. Then we have 6 weeks to wait for the certificates, which then come to us, and we send on to you in time for your presentation ceremony.
Okay, and what about the cost of the moderation, Josh? Well, the cost of doing your arts award is not just the moderation, but
yes. So the cost of the moderation is £24.50 as a minimum for the course. Should we try that again? The cost of the moderation is a minimum of £24.50 per candidate.
Do it again because you feel like you're feeling my knee.
The cost of a moderation is a minimum of £24.50 per portfolio plus any postage incurred. With 5 or fewer candidates, the external moderation will be done by post, and so obviously has an external postage cost, which works out at a few pounds per portfolio to get them there and back. There are various options for the type of moderation. We can do postal for up to 5 candidates. In the event that there's 7 to 19 candidates, then we do a joint moderation where Jackdaws will pair up with another centre locally to moderate all their candidates together, or we could do a standard moderation if there are 20 or more altogether. And the method used is not really relevant from the school's perspective. The only thing that should be borne in mind is that with joint and standard moderations, Trinity often requests a small percentage of candidates be present for a brief chat with the moderators, which is not an interview or anything like that. It's just so the examiner can get a feel for the young person's experience during Arts Award.
I think you brought about 5 of your students over.
We did, and it was really nice to be able to do that actually for the students to meet the person who is finally assessing their award. And I think it was a really valuable thing to do and made it very real and made it seem very important.
And it was certainly, I think, the assessor as well enjoyed being able to congratulate them on the work they've done and say well done.
Yeah, it was a really nice part of the end of the award.
Yeah, I think she enjoyed it. We do need to say that the cost may increase if we cannot meet the minimum threshold for an external moderation, and there are too many to post. So in that event, we share the cost between the schools according to how many portfolios they've got. We do aim to work with Trinity to make sure that we can either achieve everything by post or do a joint moderation with others. The ideal situation would be for us to meet the minimum threshold of 20 portfolios from all the schools that we're working with.
Thank you. Okay, so what can we at Jackdaws do to help? Well, as an Arts Award Centre, we can put portfolios forward for moderation. And as advisors, we can offer advice in how to approach the awards and also the pre-assessment of the portfolios before they are externally assessed.
Hang on, I just want to check this slide is doing something. So let's get rid of that. So we'll share that again.
The continuity is going to be all over the shop, Josh. Just done something to my hair.
Ow. Okay, go.
Okay, so what can Jackdaws do to help? As an Arts Awards Centre, we can put portfolios forward for moderation, and as advisors, we can offer advice in how to approach the awards and also a pre-assessment of the portfolios before they are externally assessed. Jackdaws projects could offer a vehicle to achieve some of the criteria. So if you take part in one of our projects, you could use the evidence from that to be a participant in the audience. Perhaps one of our artists could be your inspiration, and we would facilitate students leading through the course of the project as well. We can't record or log evidence or collate portfolios for you. This is the work that you would need to do for your students to help them build their portfolio. We also can't assist with any costs incurred as part of doing the awards, but offer our support as advisors in kind because we think it has such great value for students. Jane, is there anything else you would like to share about your Bronze Arts Award experience and how it has benefited your students?
I think it's been really good for our post-16 curriculum. So our post-16 curriculum has a huge focus on preparation for adulthood, as many do, a big focus on employability and getting young people into work. In addition to that, they do their English and maths. So it's been really nice to make sure we've got that breadth of curriculum, and having our post-16 choir, which I think we built into the timetable because of the Arts Award, but it's given us that balance, and that you're talking to our young people about, it's really important to have all these skills, it's really important to get a job, but it's really important to have that art bit of your life as well, and that's just as valuable. So yeah, that's been really great.
It's a jolly nice certificate as well, isn't it?
It
nice
is a lovely certificate.
Big A4 embossed
Yes,
certificate. Yes. Okay, thank you. I think that covers everything we wanted to share with you, and I hope it has shown how this could work in your setting to benefit your students. We are here in Great Elm, but we're happy to talk on the phone or by email or even in person about how we can help make this happen for your students. Thank you for watching, and thank you particularly to Jane for giving up her afternoon to talk to us and share her experience. We hope to hear from you soon.